I got to admit, I always have mixed feelings when something like this happens. Because on one hand, it's Justin Trudeau, and he's the dude who went out there and defended bringing ISIS members back to Canada and not punishing them by calling the guy who was worried about it a bigot and saying it was just like when Greek and Italian immigrants came. This is the dude who unironically said, because it's 2017, this is the dude who calls himself the first feminist prime minister. This is the dude who came out against Gamergate. This is also the dude who, whenever anything bad happens, he shows up and he takes advantage of people's grief and people's misery. It's kind of funny because my father's he's kind of like a center right guy. He's kind of like a moderate conservative, I guess. And he's generally speaking very fair. And he really, really hates Justin Trudeau. Not necessarily for any kind of ideological reason, but he finds it really sleazy. Like there was a thing in the Atlantic where a bunch of people died in a fire or something, and he showed up at the funeral and he was crying and stuff, and that just made my father furious. Like I haven't really seen him get that angry in a while. My father's a pretty calm guy, but that pissed him off, and him like showing up when that tragically hip guy Gord or whatever his name was dying. So like I hate this guy. This guy is such a fucking doofus, and he's destroying my country. But on the other hand, can you really be happy if your enemy loses because of bullshit? The same kind of bullshit that you've been fighting and you've been struggling against. And in a sense, if your opponent gets taken down by it, that only kind of strengthens the system. That shows that the state has become self-aware, that there's nothing anybody can do anymore. It's just political correctness just completely rules the day. And so is it like... So I guess if I can use a bad metaphor, rather than chopping off the limb to save the body, it's like chopping off the body to save the limb. I'm sure there's a metaphor somewhere in there that makes sense. But anyways, I've been rambling on for long enough. So for those of you who don't know, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has some pictures have surfaced of him in brownface at an Arabian Nights themed a party or gala or something at the private school where he used to be a part-time substitute drama teacher. So, yeah, we have him dressed up. That's him there. Let's see, we got some other pictures of this dude. Let's see here. Was there anything there? Yeah, there it is. The picture from the gala dinner. We also have this other picture. Let me see here. Where's the other one? Don't worry, I'm a professional. Yeah, there we go. There's the other one. Another super awkward one. Those two guys don't really seem to mind the cultural appropriation there. Isn't this kind of like a perfect visual metaphor for Justin Trudeau's time in office? The dude thinks he's a Disney protagonist. Him dressing up as Aladdin is amazing. And the fact that it's like these crappy black and white pictures just make it look all the darker. So that happened. It also came out that he was in blackface when he was doing a reggae song. When he was singing Jamaican folk song Deo in high school for a talent show. I can't even really tell anything from this. And then there's a third incident that came out showing this dude. That's apparently him. There's a third case. Like, I don't know where this is like all from. I know I've never used blackface ever in my life. The only time I think I've ever used skin paint was one year I was the devil for Halloween, so I had like red skin paint on. But no, I don't think I've ever done black. And this dude's done it 3 times. Like, that's not normal. That's pretty strange to begin with. But of course, people are like, this is racism, this is bigotry, this is cultural appropriation. And I'm just like, at a very basic level, let's take a step back. Why is this offensive? I mean, it's cringy. It's really, really cringy and goofy and stupid. But like, why is this actually offensive? That he's like, what is this down in the end? like let's just boil this down. Let's cut all the bullshit away. It's a man who's dressing up as a character with darker skin, and he darkened his skin to play the character. Like, I don't get why that's inherently so bad. I mean, actors do that all the time, particularly like the white Hispanic ones will like get a tan or whatever to seem more authentic or whatever it is. I know probably the most notable example is Sofia Vergara dyes her hair to look more authentically Hispanic, 'cause I think she's blondish naturally. But it's like, if you're trying to play a character and that character happens to have darker skin or blue skin or red skin or something else, wouldn't part of that be doing that? And I know I'm giving this guy the benefit of the doubt, and I know, like, I don't really get it. So the justification is minstrelies, where white Southerners used to get in blackface, dress up, and act like buffoons as a way of making fun of blacks in the States. So because of that, not only can no one ever use blackface, but apparently that also applies to Indians. And I mean, so like, what we're supposed to believe is that people from India are offended by a goofy tradition they used to have in the southern United States, and like a reference to something that happened in another continent probably before they were born deeply offends them. I think is what they're going for here, or something to that effect. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And I mean, people have said, well, Argent, you're white, you don't understand how it feels. Do you know how many people in like third world countries bleach their skin? That's a really big thing, particularly in East Asia. And that doesn't offend me. Doesn't offend me when Koreans get whatever that plastic surgery that like 60% of them has that removes that. Okay, I overstated it. 20% of young Korean girls have undergone it, and up to a third of Korean women have undergone plastic surgery. So, like, that doesn't offend me. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. A recent study found that half of 2,000 people surveyed about product use in India had tried skin whiteners, and close to 50% said they felt the need to try such products due to media such as TV and advertisements. So looking at this, we have routine skin whitener usage ranges from 25% in Mali, 77% in Nigeria, and 40% in China, Malaysia, the Philippines, and South Korea, according to the World Health Organization, an infamously racist body. So, like, that doesn't offend me. I'm white. And the fact that, like, the majority of these people are doing the equivalent of, like, a minstrelly to my skin color doesn't really bother me. So, the question here is, I don't get it. It's just a way to do victim politics and to, like, grieve and to do that kind of thing. And I know I'm kind of defending Justin Trudeau here, but I mean, like, I try to make things interesting when I'm doing these videos. I could just come on here and be smug and say, fuck this dude, he got exactly what he deserved. The power structure's eating itself, yada yada. And I mean, that's fine. I'm sure a lot of people do that, but I don't know. I'm just trying to take kind of a different take on it, if you will. I think while this might be good, this might make him lose the election. It's bad overall because it just kind of reinforces how doing anything on PC will just be the end of your career and the end of your life. And while it couldn't have happened to a better person, a worse person, and it couldn't have happened to somebody who has spent his life trying to do this exact same type of thing to other people, at the same time, it's just kind of a sign of the ship is sinking. Like, does it really matter if the rats get off the ship and the rats drown before the ship itself sank? I mean, they may have been nasty rats, but it's not going to affect the overall fall of things. So those are kind of my thoughts on the matter. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Argent, and I'll talk to everybody later.